No matter how many stories rideshare content creators produce on some of the shady activities of Uber, there's always another one coming out soon. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. It looks like Uber is indeed potentially discriminating against Spanish-speaking drivers. There's a viral video. I will link it in the description. I encourage you to watch it, of a Uber passenger flew into LAX and was going to book an Uber ride. They have in LA, I'm not familiar with this, but maybe in certain markets, Uber Espanol. So if you are a Spanish-speaking passenger and you want a Spanish-speaking driver, Uber provides you that opportunity. I'm not aware if Lyft does it as well, but I gotta assume they probably do. Nevertheless, the passenger is a English-speaking, what appears to be a white woman, but she speaks Spanish. She also speaks Spanish as well. She noticed when she compared the English normal Uber trips to Uber Espanol, the trip was $5 cheaper. She likes saving money according to her TikTok post, which is linked in the description. So she took the Uber Espanol trip. But according to the passenger, she got to wonder, why is this trip cheaper than a traditional Uber trip? The only difference is the driver speaks Spanish. It's a specialty trip. It should cost more, not less. She decided to do a little background, and it turns out there are a host of passengers asking the same question. Why are the Spanish drivers getting paid less, or the trips riding with Spanish drivers, they're charging less for them? Now, we know Uber passes every damn thing down to us drivers. So if you're paying less to ride in a car with a Spanish-speaking driver, you can only assume with a fair bit of certainty that driver is making less money as well. Looks like it is indeed discrimination against Spanish-speaking drivers. So I would, right off the bat, one solution, if you are a Spanish-speaking driver in at least that market or any other market with Uber Espanol, I'd highly encourage you not to even sign up for that shit. Don't even, because your Spanish-speaking trips are cheaper than your normal trips. So I would highly discourage you from even signing up with that. Or at the very least, looking into if her claims are accurate. As I stated before, she found out lots of other folks, other passengers, have also been curious and posting online, why are the Spanish-speaking trips cheaper? And Uber has not responded to that. Now, this should sound like some shit that's right up the alley if you've been following my channel or any other rideshare content creators channel, because we know Uber has a host of discrimination issues and their history is ridiculous. Some of them, and we know they use their algorithm to profit at the expense of passengers and drivers as well, such as a video we did last year on Uber using your battery health of your smartphone against you. Passengers who have a low battery, if you have a 1 or 2 bars on your phone remaining and you request an Uber trip, they charge more. They can increase the surge because they know your phone is about to die. You don't have an hour to wait for a trip to arrive. So you're likely to pay more because your phone is about to die. There was a study where they actually used data and was able to prove that they were actually using the battery power in your phone to determine how much they charge you for a trip. We all know as drivers, they're manipulating the hell out of surge pricing. The surge you see on the map has nothing to do with reality often. It's simply to get you to move into other areas, and when you arrive in that area, that surge is no longer there. It is simple as that. They're using the surge to play musical chairs with the drivers, to encourage you to go to areas they want you in, but they have no intention of giving you any trip at that surge pricing. And last but not least, dropping the base fare when other circumstances benefit the driver, such as if you're in a high surge, maybe you get a passenger that gives you a nice tip all of a sudden whatever you normally used to make at base fare goes down because they assume with the high tip or the high surge, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to voice much of an opinion. So there's no denying that Uber practices a bunch of shady shit. It's just, as I stated earlier in the video, the more you hear about this stuff, it seems there's always yet another issue, another policy or something they're doing behind the scenes that lets you know they're not going to stop this. Now, I understand most drivers, including yours truly, we prefer independent contractor status, unregulated. We would prefer to let everyone be as they are. However, with the company doing so many shady things, I don't think there's a way to stop this without the government stepping in and telling them what they can and cannot do. They are not good actors. They are absolutely bad actors, and they're going to continue doing things that is not in any of our best interests. I'm not just talking about the drivers. I'm also talking about the riders and, to some degree, the damn public at large. We know currently there's a host of immigrants in this country that are undocumented. You don't think this Uber Espanol is taking advantage of that? It's pretty easy if you are an immigrant in this country and you can't get a job legally to become an Uber or Lyft driver. You think they're really following through? If you got a cousin or a relative or a friend that is here legally, maybe they got a factory job or they're doing something else, let me use your license so I can drive rideshare. They're not following through much on that. Passengers get in the vehicle, unless you look really outrageously different from the person that's on the license, the passengers aren't going to really sweat that. You know the passenger's name, you know their destination, you know enough information that probably 90% of the passengers would get in the car. Now, it's different if I tell you Jennifer Aniston's going to be the driver and my ass show up. Hey, ain't nobody getting in that shit. But if I told you Tay Diggs was showing up and I came, they would get in the car. It's as simple as that. So we know a lot of these undocumented folks are likely taking trips, making a little bit of income on the side in ride sharing. But let your boy know in the comments. And by the way, as I stated, check the link out for that actual article, and it shows the video, shows the girl doing the video saying what she experienced at LAX. Have you seen any other shady discriminatory policies from Uber or Lyft? Let your boy know in the comments. As always, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.